What is up? Happy Friday. For Oddschecker, we are bringing you another episode of Sharp Bets today. I am joined by the loveliest bettors, Slop and Matt, and we've got some NBA picks for you, an NHL pick for you, and we're just going to get started. We're going to rapid fire this 10-minute episode. Let's see if we can do it. You guys ready? Less than 10. First up, we are looking at the Mavericks taking on Golden State Warriors. Dallas is trying to avoid a 2-0 again tonight. I think it's at like 8:30. It's very late, these playoffs.
9
I'm a very tired girl.
9 o'clock.
Even worse.
I'm pretty sure it's 9.
Well, the Mavericks want to catch a win as they don't want to head home 0-2 like they did last series. But we have seen them come back for it. Now, Slop, they are plus 6.5 on the money line tonight, but that doesn't matter to you because you have a player prop. Shoot it away.
All right, I think they're going to get rolled. So usually it's tough to take a guy that on a team that you think is going to get rolled. But it's the playoffs. They lost by 25, and Bullock played like 36 minutes of that. So he's going to be out there. The thing about that was a fake game. All right, if you paid any attention,
didn't count
because the Warriors got all this credit for defense. Those guys were wide open and just missing shots. They reminded me back in high school, like whenever people would yell at me and say, like, we locked you down. I was like, dude, I can't shoot. Like, no one was covering me. I just missed. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the Mavericks was doing. They would just miss shots. There was no defense involved at all. So I'm not really scared of taking one of these guys that hit a bunch of threes. That's why I'll take him. What is it? What do I got? 2.5? Yeah. Well, 3+ made 3-pointers. That's plus.
That is more than 2.5. Yeah.
Yep, that's 2.5. So,
yeah.
Well, I was trying to figure out which book I did because 3+ is FanDuel, but over 2.5 is everywhere else.
Okay.
But I think it's like the same number pretty much everywhere. There was like plus 110, plus 11 at BetMGM, plus 112 at FanDuel. So we went FanDuel. But no, I bet you it's 3. He did in the first game, 3 for 10. I bet you he takes a ton of threes. Every time he's taken at least 8 in the playoffs, he's hit 3 of them. So I don't see why that stops tonight. I bet he takes a ton of threes again. This time, he could hit like 4 or 5. And the ladders at FanDuel, I don't know if you've checked those out, but man, they go pretty good. So let's go.
All right. 3+ 3-pointers at plus 112. We love those plus odds. And now, Matt, you are also picking for this game, except you are picking the opposite team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to a prop here. Draymond Green under 8.5. We've hit this a couple times these playoffs so far. Some Draymond unders. So last game he had 10, right? But he was 4 for 6. Every other game in the playoffs, with the exception of a couple against the Nuggets, he's gone under this number. But he did – so the last 2 games he's gone over. I think that's why his line's been like 6.5 actually most of the playoffs. But he scored 14 and then 10. Like the one game was really weird. He shot 14 times. Like he never does that. I don't expect him to be shooting a lot. Like most games he shoots 6, maybe 7 times. So if we get a miss or 2, we're probably going to win this with Draymond. He can shoot threes. We've seen that. He's not a great free throw shooter. I don't think – like he could score 4 buckets and we still win. I think that's a good night for Draymond to score 4 times. So I'm going to go under 8.5. I kind of think that they're going to blow them out again, even though – unless, the NBA tries to hop in like we talked about last night. John, you called that, by the way, that bench player gets taken out, Derek White, even though he had a baby.
I mean, all of a sudden he just has a baby.
I'm going to say like what? Like no one knew.
Out of nowhere, no one even knew.
No one knew, yeah.
It was like that show on MTV. Remember that? Like where the kid didn't know she was having a kid. I didn't know I was pregnant.
16 and pregnant?
No, it was I didn't know. Like the person did not know.
That was like TLC.
Oh, they didn't know.
Whatever. Same thing. No, they didn't know they were pregnant. They just had a baby.
Oh, that's right.
I thought that was just made for show, but people said that could happen. Oh, yeah, I don't believe it, but
it could be. I mean, it might have been fake. I don't know. Maybe there could be.
Saying a bench player just gets called out.
Yeah. It's not real. But
then they did with Horford, though.
Tonight, yeah, then Horford comes in. Something weird could happen. But if all the Warriors play, if no one has a baby, I think they're going to blow them out, which is going to help this because then Draymond doesn't really play second half. It might stay close early, but
I don't think so.
Mavs aren't even close.
So do you guys not believe in the zigzag theory?
I don't know.
Zigzags are rolling papers, right?
When a team loses game 1, they adjust, and they might possibly win game 2. You see
that's only good teams.
It applies to
good teams.
And if a team's not on Slop's list to win title, I don't consider them good. So Matt, Luke is good, but the Mavs.
See, timeout. They're good. They're just not good enough to win the whole thing.
Yeah, so they don't apply to the zigzag.
So, but to your point, you're right. I mean, it doesn't really apply to them.
It doesn't apply. But anyway,
especially when they're playing a team that can win the title.
Yes, exactly. Warriors win by 50 and Draymond goes under, and hopefully no one has beat us.
I'm curious, did you think the Suns could win the title, Slop?
At one point, they were considered. There was 5 teams that could win total in the whole thing to start.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is anybody that's familiar with math knows that only one team actually can win. So they say, that there was 5 that can, but there's only one that will. Does that make sense? So it started with 5. So any of those teams that they could have, but they didn't.
So then you get into subtraction and
exactly. So then they get taken off, and then finally what happens is you end up with 1. And then you'll see on TV they'll have a parade. You'll see they'll celebrate. You'll know who it is.
Get a trophy.
Immediately.
Everyone will know. I would hope.
Everyone will know who that is. Yeah.
Right.
But to make it clear, those 5 teams could have. There was a realm of reality where that could have happened.
Okay.
But it did not. It wasn't in this reality. Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, I did apply the zigzag theory to the New York Rangers tonight. I promise I'm not being biased. Is that okay? Do you
there's no sticker behind you or anything like that in your house. Not like that.
Okay, well, I do have some reasons behind that.
We can see it.
I swapped it out with my Knicks. It's actually my popcorn box from the Rangers playoff game.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go.
I finally made MSG for a playoff game, guys.
Yeah, it's nice.
Anyways, in game 1, the Rangers did play a good game, but they did lose in overtime 2-1 to the Hurricanes, and it all went downhill after Shesterkin allowed Sebastian Aho to score in the last 3 minutes of regulation, and then again when I think his name, it starts with an I. He scored the overtime goal.
Was it Ian Cole?
There we go, Ian Cole.
I'm a hockey expert too.
Mm-hmm. Hockey guy checking in.
We had that Ricky Bobby on the show for these hockey picks, but
if it's late in the day, he'll be here.
No, he might be awake. It's almost 3 on the East Coast. He could be
if
up.
the Rangers adjust the way they want to, the coach is confident that they'll adjust accordingly. The team is confident. They could not handle faceoffs against the Hurricanes in the last game. And when they had an opportunity on the power play, they couldn't convert. If they can also keep the Hurricanes away from the power play, because Shesterkin can only do so much alone. Igor isn't, though.
The hockey names are tough. When I have to write a hockey article, I spend half of it looking up how to spell the name.
No, I copy and paste.
Yeah, I can't spell hockey names.
I think we owe it to the fans to start phonetically, writing it down.
Start learning? Okay.
Look.
Then I started learning hockey names.
As long as the Rangers' top scorers are on their best performance, we got Panarin, we got Kreider, we got Fox, and we got Zibanejad. They just need to keep their spark alive for offense. They looked like they could keep up with the Hurricanes in the last game, and they couldn't in the entire regular season. So let's see what happens. I think the Rangers plus 1.5 on the puck line is a smart move. They've been in this position before. They know what they're doing. And if you're, want to be a little fancy, I'm just saying, sprinkle a unit, a half a unit on the Rangers money line. It might be an idea. But I'm not going to tell you guys to do that. That is definitely just from my faith in the Rangers.
What is that minus 182?
It is minus.
Is that a record for the show?
No, someone had minus 2.
Somebody did a minus. Yeah, I think it was Ricky Bobby.
It wasn't me though, because I always try.
I think it was Ricky Bobby. Remember the first time he ever came on the show? I think he had a minus 2 something, hockey money.
Yeah, I don't.
Bro,
someone had a minus 250, and
yeah, it was crazy.
They got
a couple of guests that. Whatever. We'll see what happens, guys. You can't complain if it hits.
That's true.
That's true. I've never complained about winning before.
Well, guys, I took the liberty of building us a YOLO parlay with all 3 of our odds. Guys, what do you think they are? I'll start with Matt.
Well, I was gonna cheat. All right. Well, today I'm gonna say 542, and I did not cheat yet, but I will admit I was gonna cheat, which a lot of people wouldn't do.
Slop, what do you got for us?
I don't. It's tough with the -22. I have no experience with those kind of plays.
Oh,
so
no.
It's kind of like it's tough. I would say minus
Did you say
5.
minus?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to make it minus. I don't know.
Did my big make go that low?
It's going to be plus.
That's not possible.
We might be getting even money. No, I'm going to say plus 500. I think that's going to tank this whole thing. There's minus 115.
Matt, I'm going to ignore you. Matt, what did you say your picks was? Your pick was?
Oh, God, now I forget. I said 542.
542?
I
All right, I'm going to go with 550.
You literally said the same thing I did.
I mean, she just copied me.
You legitimately said the same thing.
I thought you said 500.
I said 550. Oh, I might have said 500.
Yes.
All right, I'll go 500.
I listened to you, Slop.
I was just testing you. Congrats.
514. So Slop, and see, you're welcome that I corrected you.
But I was right there. Like, this is just getting old. Like, every time I'm there, and then I just lose. So I'm getting tired of this.
It happened.
Well, then you're gonna have to start cheating. I don't know what to
I
tell you.
I would start cheating. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's my only option.
All right, guys, we have a 514 parlay plus 500 parlay going. Reggie Bullock with 3 plus 3-pointers. Draymond Green under 8.5 points, and the Rangers plus 1.5. I think it looks good. Good.
Before we go, watch tonight. Watch the announcers. They'll start talking about the Golden State defense, about how they're smothering them, and then they'll show highlights, and there'll just be like guys wide open missing threes. Like, it's crazy. You watch it, it's like, what am I watching right now? Like, this doesn't match. It's like in the NFL when the cornerbacks, like, you'll see a ball fly over the receiver's head, and the cornerback's like this, and you're just like, buddy, like, that ball, like, no one could have caught that. Like, that had nothing to do with you.
That's the Jalen special. He used to always do.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that if I was a corner.
I would do it, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I would totally do that. But no, but watch the announcements. They'll just be taught. They'll be all over the Golden State defense, and like these guys are missing legit wide open shots.
Not even doing anything, right?
Yeah, nothing.
Well, we will see if the Mavericks turn it around at all, or if our bets hit tonight, guys. Until then, next Wednesday, we will be back with another episode of Sharp Bets Today. Hopefully with the Rangers up in the series. So we'll see.
As long as we don't get fired, we'll be back. Yes.
We'll be back. All right, guys. Happy betting and happy Friday.